Good morning, friends. Let's take a look at another question from Plato. See, this question, reality is a shadow of ideas. It came in 1992 and it was asked for 20 marks. So we'll just take a look at this question. Now, see, this question basically approach would be our approach should be like firstly we should go into whether what are the influences on Plato. I'll tell you why we would approach this. First, just have a look on this. His influences. Then we move ahead because his major influence was Socrates. So then we move ahead with Socrates, and then finally we just move on to how he differentiates the world of senses and ideas. That is this world and the world that is the one, which we call the world of one. So that should be our approach in this question. And ultimately, the example which he takes is the allegory of caves. We'll take this example also, how he takes it, what he does with it. So let's start with this. When we start, firstly, when we say reality is a shadow of ideas, we know that Plato is actually an idealist, and he has inherited this idea of basically theory of ideas from his master Socrates. And again we can say his disciple, that is Aristotle, he is also an idealist, but he has basically changed his definition from idealist to reality. He has more practical approach. Aristotle has more practical approach. So now let's move on to firstly, if the question is asked for 20 marks, firstly we tell something a little bit about Plato, that his ancient, as you know already, ancient period, and then his location is Athens. Now we move on to what are his influences or from where he has gathered his ideas. First, we give the influence of Pythagoras. Now, why we give the influence of Pythagoras in this question will be clear within a few minutes. Why? Because Pythagoras gives the concept of transmigration of soul. See, Pythagoras visited India when he was in his years, and he gathered his knowledge about soul from India. And from Pythagoras, this knowledge of transmigration of soul passed on to Plato. So from Pythagoras, he takes this idea. Pythagoras, he takes transmigration of soul. Secondly, he takes his his second influence is Heraclitus. Now from him, he takes the idea that nothing is permanent, only change is permanent. So, why we need this? It will also come in handy in answering our question. Third, his influence is Parmenidus. From him, now see, Parmenidus is directly opposite to Heraclitus. Heraclitus says change is permanent. However, Parmenidus is saying that the one or the universe which is beyond our comparison, which is beyond our comprehension, is permanent. The one is permanent. So, in that sense, both of them are opposite to each other. Now, we will be using all three of them in our answer. And you can start with writing this also, that these are the influences. And the most major, most important influence on Plato is Socrates, his master. From him, he takes many ideas, and in this question, what is important is he takes the idea that virtue is knowledge. Now, when he says virtue is knowledge, what he means by this? He means that what is knowledge? Knowledge is transcendence from world of appearance to the world of reality. What knowledge gives? It gives transcendence from the world of appearance, which what is the world of appearance in which we are living, this world of appearance, to the world of reality. This is where God lives, the world which is beyond our comprehension, since we are ignorant. So this is what is beyond our comprehension. Now, if we have virtue, then we gain knowledge, and then we go beyond this world. Then we go beyond the world of appearance. So now, this process of transcendence is called conversion of soul. Conversion of soul basically it means power of soul which is turned in the right direction. Here, the power of soul is turned to the right direction. So, virtue is knowledge. From Socrates, Plato is having this. Now, you have to remember when you're writing this answer, that although Socrates is saying that we need to have knowledge of ideas, we need to have knowledge, but they do not believe that contemplation is the only thing which is required. Contemplation, it means that we do not live in the world of ideas. Service to community is more important. So although they believe in the world of ideas, they are idealists, but they also believe that service to community or the world which we live in is more important than contemplation. Okay, that is, they have a societal dimension to their ideas. So now we move on to the actual answer. Now we have made the introduction. So now the examiner, when he is checking, he understands that you have given a perfect introduction. Now he knows that you know the answer to the question. You just have to put it in the words. So now we just write the answer. Now Plato differentiates the intelligible world and the world of senses. What is the intelligible world? Intelligible world is the world of being or world of beauty, where we are currently living. And the world of senses is the world of opinion or the world of beautiful, which is beyond our comprehension, which cannot be gained without real knowledge. Okay, so the world which we are sensing, it is not real. It is just a copy of this world. Now, here we see that Heraclitus have given an idea. Heraclitus has given an idea that everything changes. So, this world in which we live, which we sense, it is changing. It is always changing. This world always changing. Now, real world, however, is the world of ideas. So now there are two worlds. One world which we can sense, and which we can see around ourselves, the world of appearance. On the other hand, there is another world which we cannot sense, which is the world of ideas. We do not know about that world. Now, this world, the world of ideas, this world, it has certain characteristics. What it is? Perfect world. It is immutable. It cannot be changed. What is immutable? It cannot be changed. It is fixed. It is not fluid, and it is eternal. So, in that sense, this is a world of ideas. In this world, now the world of appearance is made by an architect. However, the world of ideas had always existed. It was not made now, it had always existed. It is not created by anyone. It has always existed since eternity. It was independent of everything and it is immune to the changes of sensory world. Okay. It is immune to the changes of sensory world. And what is the sensory world? Which we can sense, in which we live. Okay. So matter is not real world, but it's just an impression. It's just an impression of the world of ideas. Now here Plato gives the example of allegory of caves. What is allegory of caves? Now Plato says that man is like sitting like an early man inside Laos. See, this is a cave. Man is sitting inside this cave. This is inside. This is man who is sitting inside this cave. He is sitting here, and this is outside world, and he is inside. Now here light is there, and man is sitting inside and he has back to the light. He cannot see this light. He can only see himself or his shadow here. So he can only see his shadow and he believes that this shadow is the real world. He does not see the light behind his back. Therefore, this is allegory of caves. He lives in the darkness. And darkness, what is darkness? What do we mean by darkness? It is the realm of beliefs which we have constructed around ourselves. That what we believe in, what we know, what we think we know. However, we are ignorant about the life, about the reality, the real knowledge. We are ignorant about it, which is symbolized by light. And what it actually means, it is knowledge. So that is it. Now we can say that this whole episode, it has been borrowed by Hindu beliefs. How we can say that? Because Hindus say that it is only a guru or a spiritual leader who can take you to the path of light. So we can say that Pythagoras has borrowed this idea, this system from India and Hindu system, and he has given this system to Plato. So this is the reality. So should be the answer to reality is the shadow of ideas. It is basically a philosophical question, and that is how the answer should be philosophical. So that is it should be, friends. And if you have any confusion whatsoever, please write it in the comments. I will try to answer it in any further video or in comments. It is a little bit difficult to understand, but if you give a serious thought and if you are serious about it, you can understand it very well. You just repeat the video once or twice and then you will understand it very well. Thank you.